Hi, we're going to be making stew. It's cold here in Southeast Texas, which is rare. So let me show you what I'm going to do to my meat. We're going to add ground pepper all over it, just a dash of salt. This is 2 teaspoons of steak seasoning. We got a teaspoon of thyme. We've got a half a teaspoon of garlic powder and a teaspoon of onion powder. We got the bay leaf, and this is actually my secret ingredient, the spicy hot V8. So it's been a while since I've made this, probably 10 years. So anyway, I'm gonna see if I can remember how to make it, and then I'll teach it to you. I've got 2 pieces of bacon cut up in here. This is 2.5 pounds of stew meat. This will probably feed 4 or 5 people. So I've cut that up. I've also cut up a large onion, and I've put 3/4 of it, which turns out to be a 1.5 cups, in here, and the other quarter I've put in here because I'm going to save it for later. When I cook my stew meat, I'm going to use the large amount, but because stew cooks so long, it breaks down, and so when I put the carrots in later on, I'm going to add the onion because I like a little crunch to my stew. I've cooked this bacon for a few minutes. As you can see, it's not done. I had my fire on high, and now I've turned it down to low because what I'm trying to do is render the grease out of it. In this bowl, I have 1 cup of flour and 1 tablespoon of cornstarch. I'm gonna season the flour with some pepper, about that much, and just a dash of salt, because like I said, I'm about to season the meat with all those spices that I showed you earlier. So this is the 2 teaspoons of steak seasoning, 1 teaspoon of thyme, the half a teaspoon of garlic, the teaspoon of garlic powder. Is that it? Oh, and I'm going to salt and pepper this too. I'm going to stir, well, I'd rather use my hands. Mix it all up. Get it all over. I'm going to turn my fire back up to medium high. I'm going to add probably about 2 handfuls of my stew meat to my flour. I decided to put 2 tablespoons of corn oil in here too, just to help with the flavor. So I'm just kind of putting this in here. And this part is a process I'm sure you've seen on other videos where you have to just kind of put a little bit in at a time because it needs space to brown up. Don't skip this step. Don't put it all in there. Okay, we're going to let this brown. Wanted to show you how the pieces are getting brown. I'm actually going to go ahead and take some of these out and put them in another bowl. And then I'll start the process over again. You're not cooking them all the way. You're just kind of browning them up. Okay, I'm going to pull the bacon out too, just because I don't want it to overcook and burn. I have a few more batches of meat to do, so hopefully I can keep the fire under control so it doesn't burn. I try to dust them off in here. Give them a good shake. You just do this part until you've run out of meat. Okay, I finished off my last batch of meat to this. Yeah, I'm going to add the onions. I'm going to saute these up till they're just almost clear. So I've added my meat to my onions, and now I'm gonna add my V8. All right, I've added 4 cans of V8, add 3 bay leaves. I'm gonna add another little dash of thyme. Whoop. I'll add some more pepper. Give this a stir. See, it's already thickening up. I'm going to add about a cup of water to this. You can add water. You can add chicken stock. I used to add a beer. This is Worcestershire sauce. This is 3 tablespoons. I like to add that too. So now I'm going to put the lid on it and let it simmer. I'm going to check on it in 30 minutes. Okay, I will peel and chop up 3 good sized potatoes. Here's my hand. To add to the stew. Wouldn't be very Irish of me if I didn't add the potatoes. Okay, I've sliced my potatoes into pretty even chunks. I'm going to add this most likely the last 30 to 40 minutes of cooking my stew. It's real easy to tell when they're done. If you can put a fork through it easily, then your potatoes are cooked. I'm going to let these sit in the water all day to take out some of the starch because my stew is already thick. Okay, it's been really about 40 minutes. Okay, low and slow is how you do it. This Dutch oven really does a good job. I know a lot of people will put it in the oven, but I like to just do it on the stovetop. So I can feel some stuff on the bottom, scraping it off. It doesn't need any water or anything right now. I'll cover it up and check it in another 30 minutes. Stew is looking good. I've taken out a piece of meat just to show you. This is a spoon. See how it just kind of falls apart like that? Now, I'm going to add my potatoes and my carrots and my onions. As you see, I took the easy way out. I just got the little store-bought carrots. I drained my potatoes, so now I'm going to put them in. And as you see, as everybody gets in the pool, it's getting a little deeper. And remember I said I wanted to add my onions too. So there we go. The ones that I had reserved. I tasted it. Tastes really good, but I know it's gonna cook a little longer. I'm gonna add some salt to it. Just to my taste. So I'm just gonna let this simmer. Let the onions cook down, let the potatoes cook down, let the carrots cook down, and whenever that happens, that means we can eat it. So it's looking good. All right, let me check these potatoes. See, it went in there nicely. So this is done. I'm gonna plate it up. Okay, one thing I did forget to mention is that I added a tablespoon of parsley to my big pot. So this is it. It's got lots of carrots in it, and the meat's real tender, and the potatoes and the onions are in there. And I just know on a very cold day, you're just gonna love this. So I appreciate you coming by. I hope you liked this video. If you do, hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the notification bell too if you'd like to know when I have a new video coming out. So anyway, thanks for stopping by.